Recently, the popular Roblox game known as Forsaken with over 100 million visits on Roblox has underwent some serious controversy. Now, there isn't anything wrong with the game itself. The game is amazing, I play it myself. But you see, the real problem lies in with the creator of the game. This person goes by the name of Soul Driven Love. Now, if you're just a casual Forsaken player, you probably just assume this is just some random person who made Forsaken. But what if I told you that this person was hiding a dark past? And because of this, a lot of drama has been stirred up in the Roblox community about this. Now, I'm gonna say this drama is stupid and confusing, so I decided why not to make this video and explain it to everybody in a very simple way. And yeah, let's get right into it. But before we get any further, I would appreciate if everybody could subscribe and drop a like on this YouTube channel, especially if you're getting tired of Roblox drama happening every single day. But yeah, let's get right into it. So this is Roblox Forsaken. This is an incredibly popular game that was released on Christmas of last year, December 25th, 2024, and now the game has over 100 million visits and is probably going to reach 1 billion visits this year. Now, I already said this before, but the creator is Soul Driven Love, and this is somebody who had 9 years of experience with scripting Roblox games. But this person didn't always go by the name of Soul Driven Love, because a few years ago, this person used to be known as robotic_developer. And on top of that, Forsaken is not the only successful game that Soul Driven Love has created, because back when this person was known as robotic_developer, this person actually created Friday Night Bloxin. This is an absolutely huge Roblox game with more than 100 million visits, and this game is basically a Roblox clone of Friday Night Funkin', a very popular rhythm-based game. Now, this is the part in the story where things are pretty interesting, because around this time when Soul Driven Love, aka Robotic Developer, was huge on Roblox, had this massive Roblox game, this person was doing some pretty shady things. Now, keep in mind, Soul Driven Love was a at the time, and back in 2022, there was a document going around exposing Robotic Developer, and this document proves the fact that Robotic Developer did have cheese pizza. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not actually talking about cheese pizza. If you know, you know. And I'll just say one thing, it is incredibly illegal and you can go to jail for having this. Now, this document had a lot of crazy things packed into it, so it proves that Robotic Developer was other people, made a threat to send an explosive to someone's house, faked the fact that her mother passed away, and also faked having skin cancer. Now, according to the actual term, Soul Driven Love is not a predator, because at the time when all this was going down, this person was 14 years old. In order to be classified as a predator, you need to be 18 years old and above. So yeah, this is a pretty tricky thing. Now, as far as I'm concerned, regardless of age, if you have cheese pizza, it's still incredibly immoral, illegal, and just straight up wrong. And on top of that, this person was sending it to other people. Now, I personally don't know too much about the legality about it, but if you know, please comment down below. I'm not too sure about that. But still, doing all these terrible things is incredibly messed up. And a lot of people that I've seen online try to bring up the argument that Soul was 14 years old at the time. This person did not know any better. And there's a lot of factors that could have contributed to it. Personally, I can understand if a younger person is doing some very messed up things when they were younger. But the fact that you're also having access to cheese pizza on top of that, that is a very serious thing. And if this person was an adult, going to prison is a very high possibility of that. Now, after this document came out, Soul underwent a lot of controversy, a lot of problems. Terrible things were happening to this person, because apparently Soul was being swatted and a bunch of bad things were happening to Soul. But eventually the drama kind of died down and people stopped caring that much, and that would have been the end of the story, right? Well, you're wrong, because last year, 2024, around November, another document came out exposing a new person by the name of Soul Driven Love for apparently rebranding themselves from Robotic Developer to Soul Driven Love and trying to escape her past. Now, you might be asking, what happened? Well, a Twitter user by the name of Unpolilua made a whole Twitter thread exposing Soul Driven Love and talking about this person's horrendous past. And this Twitter thread was large enough to the point where Soul had to respond with a document themselves. And in this document, Soul was just talking about how they realized their actions were terrible in the past and they had to change and become a better person. So the rebranding of Robotic Developer to Soul Driven Love was a way to kind of rebrand and improve as a person, I guess. Also, Soul does claim that they had to do this in order to literally save their own lives, because while this person was known as Robotic Developer, they were being swatted, assaulted RL, lots of very bad threats were being sent to them, and worse things were also happening too. Now, well, quick spoiler alert, this Polly person that made the whole Twitter thread on Soul, this person isn't exactly a great person. We'll talk more about that later. But basically, in this Twitter thread exposing Soul, Polly talks about how Soul pushed them to do a lot of bad things to themselves, and also on this Twitter thread, Polly talks about how Soul was the reason why Polly got removed from working on a game that this person had a lot of passion for. And I can't lie, this whole Twitter thread is just a bunch of bickering going back and forth. There were a bunch of times in the Twitter thread where manipulation was being brought up. And if you want to read the full document yourself, it should be on Soul Driven Love's Twitter account. You can just go there and read it, the entire thing yourself. But one thing I saw on this Twitter thread that was pretty interesting was this. Apparently Polly was upset that Soul's friends are trying to convince Polly to stop talking about this because they were worried that people were going to find out about Soul's past and then start swatting and them, which happened in the past when Soul used to be a robotic developer. But after reading all this, you might feel bad for Polly. But in reality, Polly also isn't a good person. Because in this document that Soul made, Soul brought up something very important. You see in this document, Soul was upset that Polly wanted Soul to change as a person and do better. But deep down, Polly was doing some very bad things behind the scenes. Now, I can't show you the exact pictures because it's extremely disgusting, graphic, and inappropriate, but it is also attached in this document, so if you want to see it, go see it yourself. I'm giving you a huge warning, it's pretty disgusting and nasty. But basically, Soul provided a lot of proof of Polly having an interest in something pretty disgusting. Now, it's some inappropriate things that I can't really say out loud, but it has something to do with animals. I'm not talking about humans, I'm talking about like actual animals. Like this stuff is incredibly nasty. And also, I'm pretty sure this is like illegal to be having this type of stuff. Because if you didn't know, literally everywhere in the world, it's illegal to do inappropriate things with animals. You know, common sense. And the worst part is that Polly was warned about this weird behavior with this nasty stuff, and yet Polly didn't do anything about it and still continued to associate with this type of nonsense. Now, after this document by Soul eventually dropped and was announced to the world, everybody started to learn about the story of Polly and also learned about both sides of the story. And because of this very same document, Polly had a breakdown on Twitter. Now, apparently this breakdown lasted for about 20 minutes. But after those 20 minutes were gone, that is when Polly basically just left the internet and nobody has heard from this person ever again. Now, people are saying that either Polly just straight up quit the internet or might potentially be dead. There really isn't nothing in between. But yeah, one other thing I do want to talk about on this video right here about the Forsaken drama by my good friend the Dark Creeper, who you should definitely check out. But if you go on this video and take a look at the comment section, you will find a comment from a Roblox YouTuber by the name of GDI Lives, also known as John Roblox, who owns a very large Roblox game called TDX. And this comment reads, Robot_developer harassed me, was extremely toxic, was death threats towards me years ago back in 2020. I don't believe they're the same person anymore and shouldn't be dragged down as such. I'm glad they're owning a big game like Forsaken, and I'm sure they have changed for the better. So I mean, robotic_developer did do some pretty bad things to John Roblox over here in the past, but even while all this went down, John Roblox still in this current day is happy that they own Forsaken and hopes that they have actually changed as a person. And that finally leaves us with the biggest question of the video, and that is, do you forgive robotic_developer or Soul Driven Love? Let me know down in the comments below because it's a really weird thing. Now keep in mind, Soul did all these things when they were in but still did some pretty bad and questionable things. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.